Check.
And here, folks, we are doing.
All right, I think we are there. Let's checking Twitch. Yeah.
Twitch. Am I live? Is my channel is live? Yes, it is live. Hey, it is live. Look at that.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this co-hosted AWS Made Easy / RUP 12 Darko. Steven Darko live stream. This is gonna be cool. We are going to figure out DSQL using Rust.
Exactly. So, just check for the friends out there. Do we have audio?
Cool.
There is audio. Okay, good.
Okay, good.
Yes. So the plan for today is to check out Amazon DSQL, which is one of the latest Postgres compatible databases from AWS. It's a distributed SQL and like legit globally distributed because it's an active cluster that has these like witness regions and whatnot. So it's a very, very performant, resilient, all kinds of stuff databases. It has a couple of quirks. So we're going to explore a little bit of how do you connect to it properly, and how do you write stuff to it using Rust. And Rust and SQL is kind of, there's a great crit for it, but Steven is going to drive today.
I'm going to do a little bit of self-promotion here for a second. We had Dan Blainer and Raluca Constantine from AWS on my show, AWS Made Easy, recently, putting the URL in the chat of that interview. Yeah. They're both engineers on that project. And DSQL launched reInvent 2024. I think it was one of the top announcements, right? In terms of,
absolutely.
It was a big deal because there's this idea in database land called the CAP theorem, which is you have consistency and it's like a triangle. You have consistency and reliability, or sorry, the ACID transactions.
Yes.
Let's figure this out.
CAP theorem. I've been using the word CAP theorem a lot, but I don't know. It's consistency, availability, partition tolerance.
There we go. Consistency, availability, partition tolerance.
Yes.
You can have any two, but DSQL, you could almost say, is like kind of broken that.
Yep.
And what's underlying that is that incredible time synchronization library where you can have very, very precisely synchronized clocks that are basically arbitrarily far away.
Yep, exactly. And so I don't want to go too nerdy on this, but the problem with the whole getting it synchronized is incredibly challenging. It's a big old problem. So to get the clocks synchronized on all of these clusters globally is a problem. And what Amazon has is this thing called the Amazon Time Service. It's basically your server at home, right, or your computer at home, every once in a while it runs its NTP client or the network time protocol to reach out to a time server, ask it what's the time or what's the delta, and it gets back, right? That's a pretty good. However, that thing has one slight overhead. What is that overhead, chat? What is the overhead of an NTP? And we've managed to actually avoid that overhead completely by using the Amazon Time Service. And the I'm trying to see if chat knows what the overhead could be, but
speed of light. You got faster than light communication.
It's not even the speed of light. I mean, yes, of course, I wish there was FTL in that, but the overhead here is just the network stack. So there needs to be a TCP hand. Like, there needs to be some network connectivity on it, right?
Well, and not just overhead, but variable.
Exactly.
Right? It's variability, right? If it took exactly a certain amount of time, you can compensate.
Exactly. So the Amazon Time Service actually uses a third backbone. Basically, there's an additional hardware thing, a cable, if you will, that actually provides that thing at a hardware level. Now, that works, which is fine, and that's exposed on a server level, on the actual physical hardware level. However, the application itself, in this case, the Amazon DSQL, has to be able to take that into consideration. So if Satya from Sydney and Steven from Seattle write in the database at the exact same time, it's a global database, right?
Yeah, if we were to spend the same money at the same time.
And then who makes the decision who wrote earlier, right? And this is where incredibly precise clocks needs to exist. That's why the Amazon Time Service and this, I forgot the name of the tool Amazon built, but it's an open source tool that basically taps into the Amazon Time Service or any time service and exposes that delta to the application layer. So that means the application, in this case the DSQL, can use that information to make decisions whether it will whether who is it, Satya or Steven who wrote first. I don't know if it's time sync. I'm gonna have to check it out. It's an open source project written in Rust, because of course. And yeah.
While you're checking, I remember, for anyone else who grew up in the Washington D.C. area in the 80s and 90s, we had this phone number, 844-1212. And you can call that number and it would say, I can still hear it in my head, like, at the tone, the time will be 11:23 and 0 seconds. And so what time sync is basically saying is, at the tone, the time will be 11:23, and it's taking 217 milliseconds for me to talk to you. So subtract that off when you get to it.
Yep.
When you get the answer back.
Yep.
Clock bound.
Clock bound. I put the link in the chat, at least on my channel, but there's a link in the chat for clock bound, and that's the open source tool Amazon made. Again, it can be used with the Amazon Time Service. Of course it's Rust, right? Is it? It's of course it's written in Rust because you need those little milliseconds there, my friend.
Can't you write this in a language that is randomly garbage collected, and then who knows if you get a long pause once in a while?
I mean, the only two better ways to write this would be in C or in assembly, but I think Rust is kind of good middle ground here. But this again works with NTP and works with the Amazon Time Service. So if you have an application that requires some sort of precision and you're not on Amazon and you're using something else, it also works with NTP. So
awesome.
But that's not the conversation of today. Nope. We completely side railed Amazon DSQL, the distributed database. So let's figure this one out.
Yeah, let's see if we can connect to it with Rust. So this is pretty cool. We had Dan and Raluca on a few days ago, and it's really, really easy to set up DSQL. So I'm going to put this on screen here. Yeah. I'll put my account here. Oh, no, where is my management console tab? Did I lose this already? Oh, here it is. Okay. So all you do, you go to Aurora DSQL. It's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. You do create cluster.
That's cool. It's called DSQL, of course.
And then so there's basically two options and tagging. So it's, do you want multi-region? Okay, so that you can do, I want my regular to be here and my witness to be here, or if you want single region, that's it. Deletion protection on or off, and then you can create a cluster just to know how long this takes. Let's say this is the name. I would go another DSQL cluster.
DSQL. Yes.
Okay. So
chat, is it SQL or SQL? That's a big question. I've for the most of my life I've called it SQL.
I would say SQL.
Yeah, well,
what was the first one?
SQL, like SQL. Because, again, coming from Europe, SQL was the way you pronounce this. And then I started working with Americans, and they're like, no, it's SQL. I'm like, SQL, yeah, CQL. CQL? That's not SQL.
That's like both.
SQL, yeah, SQL. That's how we pronounce it, yes. So SQL is the traditional way that I heard from Americans. However, SQL for me was the thing. But we learned on a live stream a long time ago that the SQL database standard came from a database, an IBM database called SQL, like the SQL, SEQEL.
Okay, so there was a first one.
Yeah, exactly. And they couldn't call it SQL due to some stuff, so SQL became a thing, and it's a backronym because the server query language, all kinds of stuff. So we have that SQL here.
All right, so this one is created. You can see this one we started the creation a minute ago. This one we created 40 minutes ago. So these do not take a long time to create. There's almost no options to worry about. They're going to be in more regions soon. And the really cool part is that right now it's totally free. So it's in preview. So,
it's amazing. Okay.
So what do we do with this?
So one of the things about SQL, about the Aurora DSQL is that, again, it's a Postgres compatible server. So you know what? Can we install first a Postgres client? You have some sort of a Postgres client, like a CLI tool, like pSQL, right?
Yeah,
you can install it locally.
So
we're going to connect to it using just normal pSQL, just a Postgres SQL, whatever shenanigans, nothing too terrible. We're not even going to use any code, literally just from the terminal. The trick here is every time you want to connect to DSQL, you need to generate an authentication token. That means there is no password. Right? Well, there is password, but it is automatically generated. So that means that we need to basically, every time we wish to connect to it, say like.
Okay, so I've got the command.
Right. So you have pSQL, and now we have to connect to it by using your standard pSQL command. So I'm gonna show you.
Okay, and apparently the warp terminal cannot get any bigger font than this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Start to use a proper terminal, Steven.
Let's see what I could do. Is there font size 25? Okay. 50.
There we go.
Okay. There we go.
Okay,
that's much better.
Make that full screen, and switch it here so people can see it, because people see just us right now.
That's not so bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
So let's try to connect to it. Now, to connect to it, you can do a couple of things here. So I'm gonna send folks a link in the chat, and Steven, you can also open this link once it's a free version, limited font. Is that I don't believe that, Mr. Neboyshitsa. I don't believe that's the case. Is it really?
So the free version of Warp Terminal?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't paid for it.
Yeah, but I really wonder. So can you click on this link? Oh, you can't even click on it. Oh, crap. Open up my Twitch page.
Yep.
There you go. And you can hide that thing as well. Sure. And then click on the link.
There we go. All right, and then grab that tag.
That there. Okay. So zoom in. We're going to start by using this command. So scroll down. There's the first pSQL export we're going to do. So PGLS required. Basically, this is just going to be configuring it.
DB name.
Yeah, Postgres and username admin. And the only thing we're going to change is the cluster endpoint. And that's the endpoint address, not the whole thing.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, you should see a prompt to provide a password. Generate an authentication token and use that as your password. Okay. So let's try that.
Yeah.
Okay, here's Warp. Let's go see the. Oh, look. So DAD SQL finished. Let's just use this. Okay. Brand new.
So
here's our endpoint.
Yep, that's it.
Can I?
Sure. Okay. Right. And then open up, copy that command we looked at before.
Yep. This one.
Recursive codes. Hey, Darko, I hate to alarm, but there's somebody next to me. I know. Is it weird, right? Yes, it's the two guys here trying to wrangle a thing. Oh, never said. I meant the free preview of DSQL. Maybe. I don't think DSQL affects your font size, but sure. Okay, and host, should we just use the?
So actually, I should be able to use $endpoint.
Yes. Okay, I think that should work. Smack that. Okay, password. Now hide the screen. We need to not show you the password. I think it's going to be okay, but you need to move the whole thing.
It is this one over here.
Move it.
Watch
there
out.
You go. Hiding it. So until we copy you can do connect, right?
Okay.
And there you go. Copy, and then paste here. I don't think it's going to be even. There you go. Enter.
What
did you paste?
I think so.
Okay.
Okay.
Must be the warp terminal. I don't know.
I have slow upload. Maybe it's not that slow.
No. We're connecting to Postgres database. Okay.
Fatal error. Unable
access denied. Okay. Did you? Okay. Try to run it again. And then paste in. So, paste. Enter.
So that should happen faster.
I think so, unless you have some sort of a
VPC issue.
The password is actually Hunter2, so that's the password. Connect as admin. This, if you click on connect again, we're looking at another side because
it shows a password.
Yeah. Oh, maybe the endpoint needs to have a. Wait a second. Let me look at the docs.
Host.
I think that should your endpoint with the. Well, this is fine. That's okay. Do we need to do port? We don't have to do port because this is standard 5432. Connect as admin. Enter. You should see a PostgreSQL prompt. Can you hit enter again? Interesting. Okay. Just type in anything. Just whatever. Gibberish. Okay. So that works. So the paste didn't work. So again, paste in the password.
I'm going to do this the long way. Okay. Copy. And then edit.
Paste.
Paste.
Okay. Enter. Once again, enter. Why does it?
Maybe I'm going to try a different terminal.
Try a different terminal. Yes. I don't trust Word.
Okay.
You just send your password to Word. Okay.
That's a good point. Here is the regular terminal.
So just make sure to export everything the same again. Yep. Okay. Okay. And then that. Okay. Ooh, that's not it. Hi, chat. Welcome to Copy Paste with Steven and Darko. DSQL uses on AWS. Yeah, look at that. Okay. We are not on VPN. That should not be the case. So, paste. Okay.
Enter. Paste.
Okay.
Enter. Okay. I'm a bit confused about that one.
Your identity. That's fine. I mean, you should.
We're not connecting over IAM.
Well, so you're connecting as whatever user is connected here, right? So, and this person should have password, right? So you have to choose the authentication aligns with the policy attached to IAM identity, right? So I assume your user currently has all the permissions, right?
It has everything. Okay.
But still, it's weird because like it doesn't even fail. Like it's just like, can we? Because if you enter something just randomly, it just parts out, right? So like Control C out of it. Okay, just whatever. Yeah, so that fails immediately. That's okay, right? Yes. Unable to accept connections. Okay, so the paste is the problem here. Can you manually copy this code just in case?
Yeah.
By the way, that looks like a weird little auth token, right? Doesn't it? Am I crazy? There's a little dash at the end. Is it missing something? Can you
copy the auth token and provide it as the password? Oh, I see. Is it?
Is there more to it? Like. Paste it in a notepad.
Yeah. Yep. 1 second here.
Paste it to the chat. Maybe chat. You should try.
Anyone want to connect to this? Go for it.
I legit wish it was actually Hunter2 Nebula. See, like that's the whole big boy, right? See? Yeah. So
paste. Can't be wrong in both terminals.
Dude, by the way, chat, the password is huge. You can show. Well, don't show them the password, but it's huge. Like just like 1/3 of a Word file. If that means anything to you,
it's a page.
It's a page. It's a page of a password, right? So, and then if you paste it, paste. Okay, give it a second. It failed.
That's so weird. Okay. Yeah, paste works.
Okay. Try to run it again. Okay. Can it not accept such a big password? Could that be a thing? Because that would be quite shenanigans if that's the case.
Well, it has to, right? Okay.
Because the password is legit huge. Just like, again,
paste
a paragraph. So, okay.
Here, I'm going to
move the terminal here. Move the whole terminal here. Control-C.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Control-C. And paste it right now.
Yeah.
It's all good?
I can't do that, right? Because
no, that wouldn't work because you can't just do a thing. It needs a legit password.
Huh. All right.
Why is this a problem?
Do we need to be on a VPC?
No.
This is wide open.
I mean, again, so you reach the database. So when you do some random password, it tells you no, right?
Yeah. Okay. So so that means
obviously fine, right? Second, unavailable, right? The problem is that whole big.
Do we need to regenerate? Do we have to regenerate
try
this token? Let's try that. Okay. This is live. Where did it go? Where's my DSQL window?
Hey, Colin, welcome to the show, my friend. Create complicated distributed time sync nanosecond check, enter password. Exactly. Nope. Save a password to a file and pipe it. Maybe that's the thing. Yeah, maybe we can save a password to a file and pipe it.
This says it expires at 5:04, so we have time. The following authentication token. All right.
Sure.
Well, I'll save it to a file. Sure. Let's do that.
Sure. We're saving it to a file right now. Okay. Is that a whole file? Cap the file? Okay. So good. Nice. So you run the thing. So you pipe the file into this command, right? Is that how it worked? So you would do. So we did try never shot. We tried with the stupid short password. The thing is with DSQL you cannot choose a password. It has to be generated. So
it says I can use the PG password
environment variable.
Okay. Yeah. So what if I do PG? Hold on. Can I say export PG password equals
$? You can do a $. Or that. Yeah.
What did I name the file? My PW.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, come on. Yes, go ahead and run that command.
Okay.
Okay. So let's try that.
Okay.
Where was the login? There it is. Oh, I see. We still have that.
Nope, not that one. There you go.
Let's go to warp.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah, okay.
Hey,
great.
Prominent. Good
Thank
call.
you.
Good call. Even though we didn't pipe it, but we figured out
in.
PG password. Okay, nice. So we are logged in. So now you can do select start from. I think it has a thing. You can do.
Where's the Postgres vocabulary?
I have no. It's the same as SQL. Well, it's the same. It's SQL. How do you? I mean, we can create stuff, but select. What's the default? What's the default thing we can do? Chat. What's the default thing we can do? Select what from what? You can do /dt. Yes, /dt. Yes, that will give you list tables. There's no tables.
Let's see.
List all tables. Just /dt and then star. Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
nice.
cool. Okay. So we were talking to a real Postgres database here.
Yep. Information schema. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so we verified that we can talk to the thing. Now we need to figure out how to talk to the thing automatically without having Steven copy paste the code.
Yes.
Using a Rust application. So
okay,
let's do that. So first of all, you know what? You have cursor. You do cursor.
Okay, so I am not a Rust. Oh, that's my QBasic in Rust. Let's not save that here. Okay, so
can you invoke DSQL with QBasic?
The other stream. let's try it with Rust first. Okay, so we've got this going.
Sure.
Why don't we move the password? Okay, well, first of all, what library should we use?
SQLX.
SQLX.
SQLX is a Rust crate that has compile time SQL check. Query checking. So it's the most popular crate for any sort of SQL shenanigans on Rust. So we're going to be using SQLX.
So this is an important lesson. Darko, you're an experienced Rust programmer. I asked ChatGPT what to do. I'm not an experienced Rust programmer. And it said Tokyo Postgres. And that's one of the things it said, okay, that would not necessarily be the best route to go.
No. Well, no. So, I mean, it's one of the ways, right? I'm not saying it's not good. The thing with Rust, it's most commonly you will see people use SQLX, and that's it.
Which interestingly, it is the third option here. But when we ask the same question to Perplexity, saying what is the idiomatic way to talk to Postgres in Rust, first thing SQLX saying is a popular and modern choice for working with PostgreSQL in Rust.
Yeah.
So what I would do in Cursor, I would say this. Okay, we got Claude 3.7 thinking.
Okay.
Write me a program in Rust to talk to a Postgres database using SQLX. Load the host name and password from a
Okay, it's all about the prompt journey in this case. So,
okay,
let's do some vibe coding.
All right, ready?
Do it.
This was a very, very, very simple prompt.
Okay. Cargo init bin, sure. Oh, it does that all for you.
So I have my cursor set up in YOLO mode, so it can run command. It can run rm-rf if you wanted to.
Great, amazing, love that. Sudo no-hop rm-rf ampersand.
And I've asked it to say like generate things, move things around.
Okay.
You can limit the blast radius. You can tell it don't run certain. You can tell it not to run rm or whatever other things. But you could tell it, repartition my drive. Run DD if you want.
Okay.
So let's see.
Do you know what DD is called? DD?
No.
Disk destroyer.
No joke. Enough. Okay.
Disk destroyer. So the DD command, the one we use to copy images, disk destroyer. There's a reason why it's called disk destroyer. Okay. So Stephen is running the cargo init bin apparently for a while.
Sometimes I've noticed on this one it does not.
Could it be because of your terminal settings? I see a lot.
Yes, I think sometimes, it does not believe that the terminal's command is completed when it has. Okay, so let's see what it's done.
Ooh. Why are you going back? Well, sure, fine. It's okay. So one of the challenges LLMs have, and this is not a specific LLM problem, all LLMs have this problem, is versions. Versions is a problem. So it's using SQLX version 0.07. So SQLX, current version, SQLX is crate. It is currently at 0.83.
Okay, so I would have to update this edition or this
accept
version.
It like that because it's giving you old features, which is perfect, which is okay, I guess. For example, .env is not the correct crate you should use. .env is a deprecated crate.
Is okay.
Yeah, I learned that last week on my stream because I also asked an LLM to do .env, and it gave me that, and I think it was, I forgot the name. I'm not sure if you're on chat. If you're in chat, somebody told me, "Hey, use .env," and .env.
Okay,
yes, it's perfectly compatible. So if you just literally change .env, it should work. But or maybe just a version of it. But it's
all right. Well, let's first see. All right, let me update the .env.
Okay.
So I'm going to move this off the screen for a second. Update the .env.
Okay.
Okay. So actually, to show what it put here, it put a connection string. It put host as local host. So this is kind of redundant, actually. So it has this database URL.
Yeah, exactly. So
I would say let's remove database URL from the. I'm curious to see, and I think Claude 3.7 thinking, okay. So it's going to look at. Okay.
What's doing it? It's still the terminal. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so
it's fine. I mean, you can remove those things yourself, right? Like, don't rely on this. Is in the world of generative AI, asking somebody to remove stuff. Okay.
Well, I had to remove it from here too.
Right, but you could have just used a whole connection string, right? Yeah. You didn't have to do the whole thing.
So let me fix main dot end, so we have what we need.
Okay, so we're gonna update that. You should regenerate, if you can, regenerate your
token.
Yes. So on the other screen right now, you may not notice, but on the other screen we are regenerating a token because we don't want you connecting to our database. Somehow, if you can paste the token,
you can read really fast.
Well, I mean, they can screenshot it, right?
Yeah.
I don't trust them. I don't trust Twitch. You could just get that all from the page, no? You didn't have to do it here.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Just go to the
and then
username is admin. Yeah.
And then password. We get it from the token.
Yeah, you can remove DB name. We're not going to connect to a database. So let's do just. You can leave. Well,
actually,
I think Postgres is fine.
Postgres.
Yeah, Postgres.
Yeah. Password.
Password is
something we need.
Is the connection string. So,
so let's go and regenerate this.
That's not it. That's it. Okay. Close that. Connect. All right. Connect. There you go.
It does not give you a lot of time.
15 minutes. You should put it. I don't know if you need to put it in quotation marks. I don't know. Leave it at that. Okay.
Okay.
Close.
Back on the screen.
Back on the screen.
Okay. So I want to say run the build and run the program and see if it connects.
It actually didn't show the auth token, which, first of all, oh my God, it takes the auth token. That was actually a discussion on the cursor page. It actually reads your env files, which can be problematic. However, what I've learned, it's okay. It actually uses a local LLM to do that. So it doesn't ship it in the cloud. Ooh, actually, no, I don't know. The tab completion uses a local LLM. Say, okay. No, he's going to fix it. Okay, sure. It does it by itself?
Yeah, it's in YOLO.
It's in YOLO mode. God, okay.
So something happened, but this is cool. So I was inspired to do this in Rust because I saw a good blog post that said if you use a strongly typed language, then you can drive it harder in the LLM. Yeah. And so,
Curious Robert, hey, welcome to the show, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are doing some Rust shenanigans. Can you expand the whole thing to full screen?
Yes.
No, just the whole cursor thing.
Yep.
Because we can see your desktop.
Oh.
We need to add a Chrono import.
So what is Chrono?
Chrono is a crate that does time stuff.
Okay.
But I don't really know why is it doing that. Now, this is my whole problem with this. I have no idea what's doing it. Right? So it's importing that thing, and because of the YOLO mode, I'm like, sure,
invalid port.
Okay. This is going to special characters for port. Okay.
But then it's saying the password contains special characters which are causing problems. Okay. So having to deal with the encoding.
Okay. Okay. Non-alphanumeric. Okay. Okay. Unusable undeclared kit. Sure. Hey, come on, bro. I don't know. I am okay.
Okay.
So we're just kind of vibing here, trying to figure out, does it work? Sure, bro. It's great. Okay, there you connected. Nope, it didn't connect successfully.
Serial does not. What is this? Okay, let's see if we can fix this. So we did connect.
Okay.
But now we're encountering a SQL syntax error. Doesn't recognize the serial type.
But is it trying to write something to the database?
Well, it says, I don't know.
Okay, open the code. Let it do its stuff.
Okay, I hit stop.
Okay.
Let's accept everything that's done up to this point and see what we've got.
Okay. So let's see. Database URL. Sure. Scroll a bit down. So this is all setting up. There's a database pool set up. There's a query.
Okay. So we wanted to create a
table if not exists users. Okay.
So it says, this is interesting. It said it does not recognize the serial type.
Okay.
Now, DSQL is not 100% every last little piece of Postgres. Let's see if that's actually documented, right? Because here's supported PostgreSQL features in DSQL. For more information about the syntax of create table, the DSQL supports say create table.
Okay. So there's no such thing as serial, maybe. Is that the case? Create table if not exists, column the data type. So what are the data types it supports, right? So a table if not exists. So this is the correct. That's the correct.
This is the way to do it.
Right. Constraint. We're not dealing with constraints at all. So what are the data types it supports? Can we maybe see that? Not here, just in general, the DSQL data types, maybe. Categories.
These are expressions. Select. Why don't we just make it have a UUID primary key?
Sure. Yeah.
So here's what I'm going to do. Get this URL.
Okay.
I'm going to tell this. You are right. This is Aurora DSQL. Here is the docs on creating tables.
Yeah, actually, Common just mentioned that. So exactly, yes, that's what we're doing. Just dropping in the thing. Let's see. Let's see what the parsing thing does. You know that a lot of websites are basically just refusing to allow scrapers like this just access to the website. Just prevents it. So,
what would the incentive be?
Just hammering the database, right? So every time this does it, could be automated processes. Yeah. So, okay, big int. Okay, we're moving to big int.
Let's have it do UUID.
Yeah, sure. It's right.
Oh,
there you go. Works. Panic. Okay. No, it's panic. Okay, why is it panic?
Red panicked. Called an error. Let's see. I noticed output stopped.
Maybe because there's nothing in the table.
Let's use UUID as.
I had a customer asked for this last week. AWS WAF and some filtering did the trick. The customer asked for this thing for the automated stuff not to be read. I assume. Yeah, Reddit has robots as well. Yeah, so like a lot of these sites just like disallow. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I saw on Amplify they include a special set of markdown files saying, "Hey, just drop this into your project and tell your LLM to talk to this." Yeah, I like that because then you can kind of be off. But okay, so now we're using UUID 1.4.
Okay, so that's just a name version of create.
Served as the JSON parser, right?
Okay. ID UUID primary key. Okay, awesome. Let's see. Compile. Okay, so head position original. Okay, cool. PG database error. So problem is column roll none.
It doesn't have the. Oh, okay. So it's gonna fix it because.
Sure. Okay. Let's drop the existing table. Sure. Drop the table. So I've seen a lot of Reddit posts where they would have cursor drop the table, which is just shenanigans.
Well, yeah. Do not. You have to know the blast rate. Yeah. And so that's where I feel like we're so lucky that we've shot ourselves in the foot 1,000 times before.
Yep.
How many times have you screwed up production? No,
schema has been something. So wait. I guess it's gonna do stuff, right? Or no? Schema has been updated on our transaction.
Please try.
Maybe there needs to be some sort of a delay in this case. I mean, this is not how you would potentially do it, creating a table and yada yada yada. So looks like entering concurrency. Hey, there you go. Let's have a simple retry mechanism to transit error smart. So, Stephen, tell me, what have you learned about Rust?
Well, I it's compiled.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so I'm coming from a Haskell background, which I could kind of see the parallels between Haskell and Rust, but I can see how much more ergonomic this language is.
Yep.
Like Haskell, you ended up unless you understood all of the really good monad stuff really well, you'd end up with this like big triangle looking code. Right? You'd have the maybe monad, and you'd have to, this library uses either instead of maybe, and so you'd have to deal with all of that.
Yep.
And it just got ugly. Okay, fix the lifetime issues in our.
So now it's running through the borrow checker problems like lifetimes. So I think it's training a loop that does something. So I have no idea what it's going to do and fix.
Yeah.
So Colin asks you, Stephen, are you working with databases day to day?
No.
So not at all. Dropping existing users, error inserting users, join, John Doe.
Okay, so that's interesting. It seems like it inserted 5 users and then panicked. SQL type timestamps is not compatible. Mm-hmm. What is this?
So probably the timestamps is also not a thing that it supports, right? It's not compatible with SQL type timestamp. I don't know. Timestamp Z is the Zulu.
It's the datetime. Yeah. We should be using.
So in your case, look if you look at your.
Let's see the
code.
Where the file's at this point.
So if you look at the creation of a table. So if you create their timestamp. Sure.
I'd rather just use timestamp Z.
Yeah. So probably needs to change that, or it's changed that. I have no idea. Closing. There you go. That works.
Wow. Okay. So now let's have a look at this and figure out what we're actually done here.
Okay.
So on the one hand, it's kind of cool that you can just, I gave it one very hastily worded sentence and it's got this thing. But on the other hand, it's kind of dangerous, especially when we're working with databases and passwords. But it's pretty cool that we iterated over a few different things.
Although this is very much safer. So in this case, specifically because we're using SQLX in this case, SQLX is a compile time tester, or it does compile time checking of the queries. That means that the changes, the stuff that can break actually gets caught by cursor during building itself. So it wouldn't just happen somewhere down the line. So
I'm asking it to write about what it's been up to in a file. So while it's working on that, let's have a look at this. Okay, so we load everything up from our end file. Now, this was the first one. We have that large password that it had to deal with this special thing. Now, I guess I do really appreciate LLMs in the idea that if I was a new Rust person, this might have been an hour on Stack Overflow.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. And I might have given up and why don't I just go back to Python?
Don't ever go back to Python, ever. Okay.
And then, we do PG pool options, max connection. So we've created that database URL from all the things in the end. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
Now it is saying, drop table if exists users.
Great. Whenever I see drop table, I always remember Bobby tables. So
here's what I would do.
Okay.
If I was what I would do in this situation, I would say let's make dir -p dot cursor /rules.
Yep.
And then I would say you can do a new file in here, and I would call this never drop tables.mdc.
Okay.
And I will say when writing code to interact *rs, and then do not create code which would lead to a drop tables. Okay, so now what Cursor is going to do is whenever it sees a .rs file, it's going to also add this rule into the context, and it's going to say, do not create code which could lead to a drop tables operation asking first. Okay, so I'm kind of adding that to my little tool belt of rules. That's a phenomenally dangerous thing. Okay, error dropping table. Then it's trying to recreate a user's table, UUID, name, email. Where did it come up with the sample data?
So if you scroll down, there.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
So this is basically a hash
vector
map,
of hash 3 tuples.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Shout outs to Amazon Q showing up here as well. When you select code text, it says Amazon Q. So look at that. Hello, King.
See what Q comes up with.
Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Shout outs to the one through coding assistant. Battle of the agents, indeed. Okay, so that's a bunch of that. And then if you go here, basically just those are for loop for all of these. Cursor ID.
On conflict email, do nothing. Okay,
so that's a SQL thing, right? So it has nothing to do with application. Yeah, which is kind of really good. Right?
No, it's just interesting that I thought of that.
Yeah. And you have so Rust has this kind of like a builder pattern where you create something like a query and then you basically append like dot something.
So this dot bind.
Yeah, it binds basically a variable to whatever variable is in the query, right?
So what if I asked Q? Let's see, if I went to add to chat, I wouldn't. Can I say? Well, actually, I'll ask Cursor. Okay, so now it sees that these lines are highlighted.
Sure. That's the way you use an LLM coding assistant. You ask it questions. You ask it, what is this?
It's still in agent YOLO mode. So it might just say, wow, this is weird. I'll change it for you.
No, it's not weird. It's legit how it should be working, right? That's how it should be working.
Okay, so this is cool.
Okay. There you go. Haha. Here the key use bind. There you go.
You might wonder why we don't use string formatting like this.
It's type safety. It's all of these kinds of stuff. So again, a really nice,
that's cool,
built out SQLX. What's the word? The crit. So yeah, and then at the end of the day, so if you go scroll up a little bit. There you go. So it runs the query and go after binds. And then it waits, right? Basically, it's an asynchronous task. So it executes it on behalf of a pool, and then it waits. Then what it does here, it runs a match statement on results. And this is one of the quirks and the beauties of Rust, is the whole result element, right?
And so in Haskell, this would have been, it's so weird in Haskell, because this would be the either monad, which is a right okay or left error. And it's like this historical academic reason why it's right is okay and left is not.
Okay.
And so this is much more sensible. Of okay and error is the exhaustive set of types that a result could be.
Exactly. And in this case, result can only be two things. It can be an okay or an error, right? And then like it takes the first, if result is okay, perfect, and then does another if statement just to make sure that something has happened.
And so the beauty of Rust is it's forcing me to deal with both cases. If I got rid of the error case, it wouldn't compile.
It wouldn't compile. Yeah. And in this case, like an error, and then like cool, there's an error. But if there is some other error, for example, in this case, if insert attempt max retries, it basically returns an error, right? But then if it has been max retries, it just bails out. But if it doesn't go ahead, it goes scroll up. It doesn't. No, just go back to the error. If it doesn't, there's a thread.sleep. Basically, it sleeps for 500 milliseconds and then runs the loop again. So that's kind of your retry mechanism in this case.
Okay.
And this is, I don't know what this is. This is just getting the users out, right? This is just that's the now. Of course, you wouldn't do this in a whole dance like this. No, you would do it in a more in the functions.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we say? Well, first let's get a init.
It's already init. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I use this thing called maggot, which comes from Emacs. But let's stage everything. Not the .env file. Let's ignore that. And do you want to keep cargo.lock?
Yep. All those things. The only things that shouldn't go there is what is it called? Target, but that's also by default in gitignore. So when you do cargo init, cargo init generates your Git repo with the gitignore as well. So, and the only thing in the gitignore would be the target, because the target is where the binary is.
Well, okay, let's try this. Let's do refactor the binary to have one command to repopulate the database, have it warn to the user first.
Okay. That's a lot of stuff. Sure. Let's see. But yeah, this is a good example of how SQLX works, and I think it's a fantastic crate here, and how does it actually make your code safe. So again, even if you're just going YOLO with stuff like this, it's going to be better. So I see it using clap. Clap in this case is a way to pass application parameters.
Okay. So that's like arg parse.
Like arg parse, yes.
Okay.
And dialogger is just a crate that helps you do some nice dialogues and fuzzy search and menu systems, and yeah.
Okay.
So again, the biggest problem here is that it's going to use older versions of crates. Sometimes that's okay, but most of the times you're going to have to make sure to update to the latest one.
So how can we? I wonder if you could. Well, you can make cursor rules that would say always.
The thing is, the LLM doesn't know, right? So the LLM is not aware of the latest version of Tokyo.
Yeah. So what would be a good way of fixing this problem within the cursor IDE? You can have a list of like your preferred versions.
Well, so for example, maybe you can give it a rule that if cursor can go check out on the internet, you can tell it, hey, whenever suggesting crates, make sure to go here and check for the latest version of the crate.
Okay.
So if it can do that, I don't know if it can do it, but that would be one of the options. Now again, that could be good and bad, but sometimes the biggest problem here is that most LLMs, not only do they don't know what the latest version is, they don't know the documentation of the latest version, or they do not know how to differentiate. Well, the thing is that they don't know how to differentiate between version and documentation. So if it gives you, for example, even with CDK, if you ask to do something CDK, it may give you CDK version 1.
Look at this. It is doing an automatic commit. Is that no? It's just doing git status.
Yeah.
Now our refactoring is complete. Is it going to commit? No, it just did a git status.
Okay. Sure.
But it said, let's commit our changes.
Okay.
It ran git status.
Lied to us. Okay. All right. So let's run a list users. So cargo run dash and then dash. Okay. Unable to accept connection.
We our 15 minutes.
Okay, we've expired our 15 minutes. That's a problem.
Okay.
And that's something we're going to try to fix right now as well.
Okay, so I'm going to hit refresh here.
Yep.
And then I'm going to move this. Well, I guess you can. You know what? Before I do this, you can see what the old one looks like.
Yeah. You can just cat it, I guess.
Yeah. Is it in here? Oh yeah, this whole thing.
Yeah.
So, well, let's.
Well, if you just cat it in the.
Okay.
Just cat the whole file in there. So there you go.
Okay, this is what the DB password looks like. It stopped working. This is the size of the token. This is what we had trouble pasting in the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's hit connect.
Here you go, chat. You're welcome to our passwords. That has expired. Hey, Spat PD. Hey, it's been a long time, my friend. Welcome. That's indeed OG stuff. We're connecting to a SQL database, specifically Amazon DSQL, or distributed SQL, using a Rust application. And Steven here is just YOLOing it with Cursor. So we're trying our best.
We've been amazed that Cursor generated a command which says drop table.
Drop tables users, just lovely. I'm sure that Cursor know who. Ask it, does it know who Little Bobby Tables is? Do you know who Little Bobby Tables is? I hope you know who Little Bobby Tables is. The chat. This is Cursor, I believe. Yes. I haven't tried the windsurf yet, so not yet. Does it know who Little Bobby Tables is? Oh, okay. It knows XKCD. Of course, it knows what XKCD is. Proud of it. Yeah. There you go.
Not just it linked to it.
It linked to it.
Oh, let's see if this. Oh, yeah. It got the URL correct.
Look at that.
It opened up in the other tab. This is it.
Did you really name your son Robert? Single quote, parentheses, semicolon, drop table students.
Okay, you might find this funny. When I was a teenager, I was working at a web hosting company, and I wrote a search engine for our site that it was written in Perl.
Okay, of course.
And the Perl took the search string and dumped it into a terminal into the grep command.
Okay.
And this worked. But literally, I was like, okay, yeah, sure.
Okay, sure.
Anybody who visited this website could fill out this one thing and use Perl to send anything to the terminal. It'll just hand it to grep, whatever, our documentation input from the website.
So I've a long time ago.
The web was innocent back then.
It was innocent. A long time ago, I worked with a customer of mine, and they asked me, "Hey, Darko, can you fix our Apache server? It was dead. Like something didn't work, or it was PHP was down, or something like that." And I'm like, "Sure. Let's set up a little VPN session, and I'll connect to your system. Yada yada yada." So no, don't worry about it. And they send me like a public link, like IP address / shell, and it just is a root shell to their web server on a public IP address, and I'm like, oh no, what is this?
When I was a kid, I had a Windows 95 box that had a static public IP address.
Okay.
When I was like 12.
Wow, okay.
I remember I had a friend of mine who got really into the what do they call it? He would be called a script kiddie.
Script kiddie, yeah.
And he's like, hey, I think I can make your computer reboot. And just tell me what your IP address is. And I told him, and sure enough, like
God, don't expose Windows 95 computers to the internet. Okay,
no.
So let's see. Let's run this.
Now do we have a question about the?
Well, somebody's asking Cursor or Windsurf. It is
Cursor.
Yes.
Okay. So let's see what happened.
So this is the whole different thing. This is like bottom tables. Go up.
Okay. Review next file.
Oh, this is just.
This is the thing that we told it to write.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So
now let's review the code. Let's see. So there's a bunch of stuff. I think it created a bunch of functions. So there's a function called repopulate databases, right? If you see, there's a create connection pool. There's an enum that's really cool.
Okay, so this is the way we have a finite list of commands that can be statically checked.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is a clap thing, I would imagine. So if you scroll a little bit more up, so there's a struct CLI. This is basically the parser, the clap parser, and then it uses subcommands, right? So
if I did this and I went -- help, would it tell me what?
Yes, it should. Yeah, there you go. Repopulate. So see, like it takes even the comments from the enum and uses them as the thing here.
That's really cool.
So,
okay.
And yeah.
Okay, so literally these triple comments.
Yes, triple comments. And that's also a fun thing about Rust. It's not unique to Rust, but like if you, for example, create a crate from this, like publish it on crates.io, it will use this to generate the docs.
That's nice.
It's insane. Yeah.
Okay, create connection pool. So we had that
standard. Yeah. There's a repopulate database thing. We're passing it just a PG pool. That's it.
Okay, so let's look at our main function.
The main function is just basically gonna parse CLI parse. It's gonna create a pool. Of course, it has to do it, right? It's using an await function because it's asynchronous. And then based on the CLI.command, it runs one of these things. So in this case, it's literally a match statement, and that's it. Simple as that.
Let's see if it added any formatting. So if I say list users.
Actually denied.
Did we?
Maybe it expired again.
It's possible. What time is it?
Have you saved the? Oh, you don't have the. You saved it. Okay, so just.
Close your eyes. Okay. No, that might have been that.
Yeah, it's the old one, huh? Can you go back?
Unable to connect.
Actually denied. So let's check your code. Check your
token.
Yeah. So Spet, is that locally agents? Because if it's cloud stuff, your code is out in the wild. It's okay. It is. I think Cursor is using. Well, of course it is. It's using Claude somewhere else. So,
but it's using Claude from either hosted on AWS or
Claude themselves. So, okay, try it again. Modify and then just make sure to copy the correct thing.
Okay.
17. So we have 15 minutes left. So
okay, I'm going to. I think if I do this fast enough, no one will see the whole thing.
Okay, good.
There we go.
That's fine. Try to run it now. Interesting. Unable to accept connection. Access denied. Why is it unable to accept connection?
Some session ID.
That's just a session ID. That's basically just throwing you that there's a session ID. Unable to accept connection. Access denied. Can you try? Look at that. Check out the passwords, folks. Connect DB.
5432.
Yeah,
that's the right thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so
let's see. So now it's going to run the command for itself, right? Is that
yeah.
Okay.
And then it should be able to read, but there's not much there to go on.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously we checked .env. Expired AWS session token. The timestamp indicates
102. Sure.
But wait, 102 UTC. I mean, that's true. We just put in this new one.
I hope we did. I don't know. Have you saved the env file?
Yeah, I thought I did.
Okay.
Okay, so now it's going to try and do.
Now it's going to do a bunch of stuff to kind of warn you about this. Sure.
Yeah.
There's a script here, but the script won't work. It's Bash. Like it's unless it knows how to do it in Bash. I don't think it's it's not going to be a good thing. So please paste in your temporary credentials. No. So. But I think we maybe copied some old one or haven't done it, but we should try again. So
okay, let's try this one more time. I'll try it this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that shouldn't. Okay.
Alan, hey. Good day from windy Brisbane. Password between the quotes. Maybe it's a parsing problem. Maybe, but I know we solved that problem in the past. It did do some stuff with parsing. So maybe you can. I'm not sure if the end file needs quotation marks. So
I used to live in Brisbane.
Oh, he lives. Yeah. Hey, Alan. This gentleman used to live in Brisbane.
Hello.
Good day.
All right. Let's try this.
Yes, but I agree with that. That's the problem with the Claude AI integrated IDs. They can send stuff up with permission. I mean, that's kind of how it works. Anytime you work with an IDE that has some sort of cloud connectivity, you do something like at workspace, or it understands the context. It keeps sending your code there. It's really a matter of trust. Like, do you trust the cloud vendor or not? If you do, great. If you don't, nothing that they do will be great. But I don't know if Cursor supports OLLAMA, but like there's ways to plug in OLLAMA into this if you have a computer powerful enough to run the latest models at the size they want to be run. So, okay.
We were talking about that earlier, right? If you had the new Mac Studio with the 0.5 terabyte of unified memory.
Somebody mentioned it. Somebody mentioned it on LinkedIn today. They are looking to buy a 0.5 terabyte size Mac M3 Ultra, whatever the thing is. It's $11,000 before tax. So
that's a lot of bedrock.
It's a lot of bedrock. So depends what you want to do. Okay.
Okay, so it's still on this whole command to our CLI for refreshing the credentials.
Can you on this side? Can you scroll? And I want to see how the whole credentials. If you scroll all the way up, there's a little expires on. So expires 90 seconds, 900 seconds. The test is 3 national pit. I mean, this definitely has expired. So you have to regenerate. Something problem here.
It says 15.
Well, this says, but this doesn't say that. This is 13.
Oh, I see.
Right.
That might. I wonder if that's a.
Okay, try it again. So fine. If you scroll a little bit more down.
What we're examining is the expiration date in the actual token itself versus what the UI of the website says.
This looks okay. 0135. This one looks okay now. So
Wow. Okay, it is going off the deep end here. Oh, Lord. Let's add a new command.
Oh God, YFS. Don't do that. Don't. It's gonna. Oh my God.
Okay,
so it's gonna do a lot of stuff here. I mean, we're gonna have to do stuff.
Okay.
We're gonna have to work with updating credentials because the problem here is you have to in an actual production setting you have to have a function that will refresh these credentials when required. So update your end file. I think that's the stop this or whatever. I don't know if you want to cancel the whole thing.
Oops. Just pasted my token into Siri. This is
save.
Okay.
Now Siri knows your password.
Yeah.
You can stop it. There's no need for that. Like just stop. Don't stop. Thank you. Reject all.
Reject all.
No. Yeah. Okay. So there you go. So
let's see.
Run it again. Hot that.
So this is one of the problems, right? In YOLO, I think it had some.
Crap.
Let me go to the.
Oh no.
To the. I can restore this to before it went off the deep end here. Let's go all the way up here. Let's restore checkpoint here.
Okay.
Okay. Continue.
Okay.
Okay. Now it will notice the inconsistency and rebuild this.
Sure. Yes. There you go. Compile. Click to this. Boom. Unable to accept connection access denied. Interesting.
Right. Did I not save the?
Can you move this thing on this side? What's the credential? So I want to see credential. Can you move it on this side? I want to see a token. Okay. So the token is not the correct one. You haven't pasted the correct thing. So delete the whole.
Why?
Yeah, that's not the correct token.
Okay.
Just try to copy it manually. Maybe we're doing right-click copy now. Paste. Boom. Okay. Save.
All right. Now let's go look at it. Make sure it's there.
If you see the
this one,
it is the correct
35.
One. Yes. Okay.
Okay. Yes, there we go.
There we go. Aha.
Listed all users. Great.
Comment says somebody posted Exo cluster today with 0.5 terabytes Mac Studio, 20 tokens a second, and DeepSeek R1 without quantization. That's pretty impressive. 20 tokens a second is really cool. It's still quite expensive. Is it a single Mac Studio or is it multiple ones? So yeah, interesting. Okay.
Great. People that know the password. Apple, Twitch chat, some weird server in Russia.
So Sped, go ahead and just connect to our database. You can do it. 2 Macs. That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money for 20 tokens a second. I mean, sure, right? It's like $22,000.
I follow the local llama subreddit.
Okay.
People do their local llama builds, but yeah, it's impressive what people. I mean, it's a lot of capital layout to think. Are you sure this is going to be the way that we're doing inference until you feel like you've gotten the value out of this?
So like a couple of years ago, I said like I wish I had a job where I needed a computer that's like $25,000. I wish my job required a workstation that costs $25,000 for no other reason than just having that expensive computer. And now you kind of get into that ballpark if you want to run LLMs locally. If you have a job that requires a local LLM or like something specific where you can't use this thing, but you should.
If you're working at healthcare, or security, or something where you want to be able to do this.
Okay, now let's stretch the capabilities of the LLM.
All right.
And I don't think it's going to be able to do that.
I'm going to start up a fresh composer.
Commit to this.
All right, let's do this.
But Darko, your job gives you the entire cloud. It does indeed, yes. So that's why my job gives me the whole cloud, and I have all the computers in the world, and they cost way more than $35,000. But at home, I have a. If anybody remembers, I don't know how old you are, folks, but I have a Silicon Graphics indie workstation. So
that would have cost a lot.
It cost, so the Silicon Graphics indie workstation in 1995 cost $35,000. So a single workstation. And if we do 35K USD in 1995, that is the equivalent of $72,000 today. And video game studios, graphic studios, what is it? People who do like dynamics and physics and whatnot, they would spend this kind of money on a computer. So, yeah, shenanigans. You buy 6 figures. Okay, works.
Yes.
So now, and here's the thing. I don't think it's gonna work because what it needs to do, it needs to basically do this. Use Rust to generate the token in Aurora DSQL.
Okay, so let me pull up that page.
Yeah, if you give it this, I don't think it will be able to work in
token in Aurora. Well, first let's see if Perplexity finds it. And if it does, I'm going to hand. Okay, yeah, it found the right source. So that's this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say at web, right? You can do this.
Yep.
And then I'm going to say
implement generation of tokens.
And we're on Claude 3.7 Sonnet thinking in agent mode. Let's see what it does.
Oh, did the camera do something? I think Steven has the little Apple things enabled. The whatever the thing is.
Does it work?
I don't know. This is not live. You can open up
the reactions.
The reactions. So probably has the little Apple thing enabled. So I disabled that thing on my side. So
I don't know if I have it on.
Doesn't matter. Okay, so okay,
so this is a fresh composer.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have the context of all the stuff we were doing before. So it's as if it had never seen this code before. Actually, how big is our code? Why don't I have that? I didn't have that installed in this one.
Okay, it's adding AWS SDK, config, sure. It's using it anyhow for the errors. I wonder if it's going to be replacing all the errors because it's using the built-in boxed-in errors, but I wonder if it's going to use anyhow here. Anyhow it should be your favorite crate when building stuff in Rust.
Let's hit the lines. Dot. That doesn't seem right.
What is it, Slock?
It's just it's supposed to count the number of lines in this project, but why is that working here?
So Colin is asking, how does the DSQL on Aurora serverless differ? They're not the same thing. DSQL is most of you don't need DSQL. That's kind of the thing. DSQL is a distributed SQL.
No, I was just thinking. Yeah, no, you're right. But that being said, it's serverless, right? So you have it's a pretty low. Like you don't need to not use it.
Exactly.
That's a dumb thing to say.
Well, depend on the cost, right?
Yeah.
So currently, because it's a free preview, you can use it for free, right? All those kind of shenanigans, but it may be more expensive. I don't know the pricing of DSQL, but comparably, it may be more expensive because DSQL is this distributed SQL, right? And when I say distributed, I mean literally multi-region, multi-world, active clusters. So that may cost more money. But yes, ultimately it is serverless. You don't care about the infrastructure. There's no servers to manage. It is kind of working the same thing because Steven launched it in 5 minutes, which is quite impressively fast.
And there's only 2 options for configuring: multi-region and deletion protection.
Yep, there you go.
Tags.
SQL DSQL. Okay, it's using. Okay, initially it put the wrong version. See, like it used 1.15. That doesn't exist. So it now went to the internet and found the correct version.
So you could use DSQL. Well, I guess depending on the pricing, right? It might, but I'm hoping that it kind of becomes my default go-to. But we don't know yet.
Yeah, we don't know. Yeah, so currently it's preview, no ficing. So yeah, it's going to be available when it's going to be generally available. So we don't really know yet. But yes, if it's going to be same, sure, I think that's really good. But we don't necessarily know it. So Kalman is asking, so region application with serverless. Exactly. Well, it's kind of like because it's an active cluster, you don't really care about the region in this case. It's just like globally distributed.
But I think we can show that in the management console.
Yes.
Let's see, pull that up. Here it is. Cluster. Oh, let me move this over to the main screen. Here we go.
Have you launched it in a single region?
Yes. But when you make one, so you do create cluster and you do add linked regions. Mm-hmm. So right now there's only two regions that it works in. And so you could say, okay, this is the US East 2.
Yeah, and that's the witness region. That's the whole replication element.
But you could do the mirror image of this if you wanted to.
I don't think no. In this case, the witness region in preview, the witness region can only be Oregon. So the preview supports the cluster in North Virginia and Ohio. Those can be two linked regions, and the only witness region is US West 2. So basically, the witness region receives all the data to link cluster. Basically, this is the whole thing that kind of negotiates a bunch of stuff there.
So it's multi-AZ by default.
Absolutely.
Right? Always multi-AZ.
Yes.
That's the DSQL, but it can also be multi-region.
Exactly. And the purpose of this is like, it is multi-region, right? It's like, that's the whole thing. You add a different region. It can be, again, in a different part of the world, not in the preview. And when it comes GA, your decision, should you use this or Aurora serverless, will definitely come to the pricing. So I have no idea what the pricing is.
And it's amazing, like, when you think about starting up an S3 bucket, how many configuration options there are now.
Yeah.
And this is it. There are no more levers or switches. I'm sure, like every AWS product, it'll evolve over time.
Yeah, exactly.
But that being said, like, given the complexity of something like Dynamo, there's not that many.
Exactly. Well, this is also like unlike DynamoDB, this is a relational database. So yeah.
Let's see how our Easy Bake Oven is going.
And while that's happening, while Steven's looking at that, I'm going to actually look at.
It says it did it.
It did it. Okay.
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 That seemed to work.
There you go.
Generate tokens with custom parameters. Well,
sure. I want to see if I can drop you a video from my friend AJ. AJ talks about DSQL and stuff. So AJ is one of the AWS heroes, and he did a whole thing about the DSQL, how fast it is. So I want to see if I can find the example of his post on that. So he actually goes into a little bit more details on how does it actually work and how fast it is, yada yada yada. So he's a big Rust guy. So definitely a cool thing. So where is the post? This was
okay. So now we should be able to. I think it actually worked. So if we look at our end file, I'm going to do this carefully. The expiration time is a 124. Yeah, we're past this.
Mm-hmm.
So without updating this end file, it's exactly how it is.
Okay.
We should be able to. Well, I'll just double check. Are we now updating the token dynamically?
I have no idea. So
yes. So now it's already made the switch for us.
Nice. Okay.
Let's have a look. Okay. So in.
You want to go?
Yeah. Give me 2 seconds here.
We have the kids coming in, so look at that.
Okay.
I'll figure this one out. So I'm gonna take over here. Yes, coming in. So like it's a lot of durability here as well, but not just that. It's just like all kinds of stuff. So okay, let's see what happened here. So session unable to accept connection, access denied. So I want to see. Actually, I'm gonna slightly hide a little cursor here. You know me. I take a lighter touch when it comes to LLMs than Steven does. So I want to see, how does this thing work? So there is a thing called generate auth token. So it does it here, right? Okay, good. Generating auth tokens for connection. Perfect. There's a function probably somewhere, generate auth token. Sample job, insert users, those things. Oh, see, okay. So the question here will be the way this works is that kids run, hide. The way this works is actually it's using Steven's local credentials to generate this. Are your local credentials the same ones you use on that website? Because it's using
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have in the environment.
Okay.
And you can see that, right? The AWS profile.
Power user.
Yeah.
Okay. Does that user have permission? Is that from the same account?
It's from the same account. I'm not sure actually if that has permission.
Okay.
Is that why it's not working?
Yes, could be that it doesn't do that.
Let's go into IAM real quick.
So I also want to see one more thing, because there is somewhere. Where's the thing? I'm looking for a function.
Well,
there's auth. Sorry. So generate auth token. So it takes a cluster endpoint, region, admin, user. So the region here should always be get connection string, generate auth token, DB connect. This is all from the AWS SDK. Low default latest. Okay. Region to string. So sure. So when we go to generate auth token in the connection thing. So at first, where is it? Where does it get the region from?
From .env or dbhost.split. Oh wow. Okay, I don't like that.
Yeah, exactly.
When defaulting to US East 1.
Yeah, so it's okay. Unwrap or US East 1, right? If it can't figure it out, it's fine. Because
it's a fair assumption.
Yeah, it gets it from here. So it gets it from here. But it doesn't split it well, right? So DB host is this dot this or something, right? Something fails here. I'm not sure if it does it correctly. So what you can do here is literally just set it to
US East 1
string tab. There you go. Save. There you go. Okay, try to run it.
Okay. And if not, we might have to check IAM, right?
Yes.
Okay, where's my terminal?
I close it. Whatever it's
let's see.
Okay. Cargo run list, whatever. Yeah. List users. Okay.
Access denied.
Okay. Can you let's print out the thing before, right? We're gonna do some troubleshooting. So print out I want to see how the connection thing, not the connection string, the password looks like.
Oh, okay. So that the actual
the thing it generates. So if you can go to auth RS if you want, or you can just tell it. But maybe that didn't do it. Accept file. Maybe that's not a thing. I don't know. Did you have to accept it before?
Token. It's supposed to call generate auth token.
Sure, and it does. So it returns one of these things. Okay, token to string. So can you just print the token? You can just do a print.
I can do it right in there.
Yep. Print ln. There you go. Token. Boom. Save. Run. Chat. Don't look. Okay. Okay, it's not implemented. So do token. Do inside of the little curly braces, put a column. Yeah, no column. Whatever. Yeah, that the two dots.
Okay.
There you go. And question mark. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So awesome. That is not a good token. That's a bad token.
No, look at this. This is.
But it's a super. See how short it is?
That looks.
That's a really short token. See the signature? How small it is? So.
Yeah. No, you're looking at the one in the .env file, which is expired. Can I wrap that? Ooh, shoot.
Did we kill Q?
This is my Emacs shortcut. Came back to my head. And that was not the one. I'm only in like a few months of VS Code variants here.
Alan Blockley says, I saw nothing, so nobody saw the code, the password. Even if you say it was bad, so that doesn't matter. So is it pulling it from the thing?
That's okay. So this is the length of a token that we want to.
Yeah.
Let's try this again.
So this one is not correct, not by any means, right? So,
yeah, that's.
So can I look at the code?
Yeah.
So let's see. Scroll a little bit more up. I want to see how they build the thing. So okay, config builder author. It all looks fine. Maps an error. That's okay.
DB Connect admin auth token.
Yeah. So this looks perfect. It looks perfectly fine. So my only question here is, what user are you calling this as, right? So if you don't want to show your account ID, you can do STS. Well, I don't think we see here. You can use the AWS CLI or something.
Is it STS get identity?
Yeah. So we're now just checking to see who are we invoking this as. AWS STS get identity. Get caller identity. So it is AB power.
Yeah, that's what I expected.
Okay. So,
I'm not sure if they have permission to do this. No,
exactly.
I've never asked. I've never given that.
So go and modify IAM probably.
Okay.
So we're gonna go to IAM. I'm a fan that you're using Vimparate or VimFX or whatever. So you don't see that, but he's using a keyboard to navigate links on a page. There's a plugin for Firefox and Google Chrome and whatnot that has basically hit the button F and it highlights all of the links with like numbers and letters, and you can just. So I
think I'm just going to give this guy Aurora DSQL full access. Okay, so I think I can share this part.
You can, yeah.
Okay, so this is right now. I have a group. And I'm adding this this managed policy, this Aurora DSQL full access. I'm attaching that to the IAM user. Probably going to move my ID off the screen. And then, okay, so now that policy is attached to the group for which that member belongs to. Mm-hmm. So let's see if this works now. That's still, wow. It's cool.
Always IAM. Now, as an Amazonian, I officially have to distance myself from using administrator access in this case. So please, friends, do not give full access to your accounts that do not need it. Give accounts access per database, per use case.
The principle of least privilege, not the principle of God mode.
So a couple of things we've seen here. Number one, Rust is really good to be used with coding assistants. Whether you're using Amazon Key Developer or using Cursor, what's the other one? Somebody mentioned something. Windsurf, Bedrust maybe. QCLI, the latest QCLI. Rust is really good because of its strong typed / compiled nature. The tools actually catch problems really early on, so it's most likely not going to be a runtime error. It will happen at times, but most likely not. And we also learned that Amazon DSQL is cool. And basically you need AWS permissions for it. Well, the best practice is to use AWS permissions or some other kind of way of generating tokens to connect to it. Now, you can do this with other databases as well by storing the passwords in like Secrets Manager and then like using AWS permissions to reach there and all kinds of dance. But in this case, it's built into the service where you actually need to go ahead and generate this token to be able to access it. So look at that. Okay.
Let's try our add user function.
Yeah, add user. Give the name. Trogdor. Email. Trogdor@email.com. Oh, the burning. Okay. Is it admin? Of course it's admin. There you go. Nice.
And now let's list the users.
List the users. And there you go. Wonderful. Wonderful. Cool. I like that. So, folks, definitely go check out Amazon DSQL. It is not that hard to get into it. It's like, as you can see here, it quote unquote works. So, it's currently in preview. You can try it out for free. Build the code, clean up the warnings. There you go. There's going to be a bunch of warnings for dead code, but that's okay. Sometimes it actually complains about dead code, like get connection string. It's because it's never used. So like you shouldn't use, like that should be removed, right? Like actually, yeah, you don't need the get connection string at all because you already have it somewhere defined.
Well, let's see.
So that's a little bit of an extra code.
So it's found that there's one function that's never used.
Yep.
Does it have any utility?
Probably not.
There are a few ways we can address this. It gives 1, 2, 3, but it's in YOLO mode, so it picked.
Sure.
Oh, so it said allow dead code.
Yeah. Again, sometimes it's dead code according to the Rust compiler or Clippy, but it's actually not. It's being called somewhere else.
Or it's something like you want to temporarily disable, but you don't want to get rid of it. It's almost like commenting it out.
Exactly. And the actually proper way to do Rust in a CI/CD pipeline is that anytime it throws a warning, failed. That's it. It can't. There's no warnings. There could be no warnings. So I don't know if it has it done. Okay, it's done. Sure. Can you save? Accept.
Yeah. Let's do accept.
Okay, and then run cargo fmt. 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 That will just format the code.
Now, I don't have it.
Yeah. No, you do. FMT.
Cargo FMT.
Yeah, it's done. So like you see, it made a bunch of changes. Just make sure that code is formatted correctly. And save, commit. We're done.
So it looks like that's cool. We've got a pretty cool, usable code. And this is cleaning up.
There you go. We built it. Amazing.
All right. I'll put this code on a repo somewhere. Darko, thank you. Pretty cool. We've got some Rust code now. We can talk to DSQL. Can regenerate its auth tokens.
Throw us up on the screen. Can you throw us up on the screen?
Yes.
So people look at us a little bit more.
Let's put this here. Yes. This is. There we go.
Yes.
There we go.
Look at us. That looks beautiful.
It's cinematic lighting.
Cinematic lighting, indeed. Thank you, folks. Cameron, thank you. Nebusha, I know it's super late for you, so thank you so much for staying up this late with us. We really appreciate it. By the way, folks, Steven works for a company called CloudFix. They do kind of, what do you do?
We do automated AWS cost optimization. So we scan your account, we find all of the knobs and switches and levers that aren't set right, and we make changes that will keep your stuff going but not affect performance. Exactly. So an example is like a way over provisioned EBS volume, switch GP2 to GP3. And we also have kind of some best practice stuff like, we will advise you if you're, speaking of databases, if your RDS instances are about to hit end of life, that is really expensive. That's not something we can fix automatically because there's a reason you're on an old version, but we can put up a big red flag and say, hey, your database costs are about to double. So that's what we do.
So for folks on my channel, this stream is not sponsored. Steven and I are friends. So just so you know.
Absolutely. We're not
actually, he did bribe me with a can of beer. So cheers, Steven. Let's do that.
It was fun.
Folks, thank you so much for joining us. People watching, I see TypeScript Tea Time. Hey, I hope you're enjoying Japan. Folks watching me on my channel, I'll see you all next Tuesday as we do. Hopefully I receive this wonderful little hardware device. Oh no, I can't see you on Tuesday. I'll see you on Monday. I will hopefully receive this little hardware device we can play around with. So I'll keep you posted in the Discord. ! Discord on my channel to join the Discord. Awesome. Steven, let's wrap it up.